chosen?
We will bring Butters, Rosie and Dersma into the side, and we'll leave Leonard, Frederick and Mays out of the side. Sorry?
Boyd Woodcock's come up okay after you met his something?
Yes, Boyd's got through the week fine with his cork that we talked about after the game last week. He's going to be fine to take his place.
The dramatic week that it's been, is it very much different to what you heard last year, or do you feel as if you're used to it now?
Yeah, no, I feel like we've been here before. I feel like we've done this before. I feel like we're ready to do this again. And like everyone in the competition, we know what it takes to get this football season away, and we're ready to do it.
Does it compromise your preparation in any way?
No, not really. I mean, there's change to preparation, there's change to what we've done and some of the things, but compromises would be a bit harsh. I think it's made some adjustments to our preparation, but not in a way that I would call it compromised.
Can you tell us why you chose Melbourne Stadium as the venue for this game?
Oh, well, our options were obviously MCG Marvel. We just played there last week. We had a good result there. We've had good results there this year. We think with the side that we've got that Marvel's probably the right spot for us to play based around what the options were.
The game is very much about Travis Boak. He's spoken about what it's meant to him and what you've done for his career. Can you tell us what Travis Boak's meant to you personally and to your football career?
It's a really difficult one to sum up in a few words, because Travis has been as big a part of my journey as a coach than any other person that I've been involved with in football, and I've been in the game for a long time. When I got to the club in 2013, Travis was the biggest appointment we made as captain. He led and carried this club on his back even before I got here, probably, to be fair, and he's continued to do that whilst I've been here. Unbelievably reliable, unbelievably high level of performance week in, week out, and just the most outstanding person you could ever wish to meet.
Do we know what a milestone means to a player and his teammates? What's it mean to a coach?
Look, it's a significant milestone because of Travis, and 300 games, as we all understand, is absolutely the top of the tree when it comes to being able to longevity, performance, durability, all those things that you need to be able to provide to get to those numbers. And for Trav, not only is it his 300th game, but it's equaling a club record in games played at AFL level. So it's a big moment for us as a football club, and it's a big moment obviously for Travis. But Travis, like everyone else, tomorrow all they'll be worried about is making sure we can get 4 points.
Last time it was 1 point, that was Nathan Buckley in the other box. This time it's Robert Harvey. How do you deal with the new coach trying to make his mark with his team?
I would just have a look at what the performance has been and what Collingwood are playing like and how they've adjusted, if they've made some adjustments. And it appears that they've made, some of their adjustments have been around moving the ball slightly quicker than they did when we played them in the first time. They've got some high quality players around the ball. They've got an outstanding back line, which, they hold up really well defensively. So there's not too much change. I think the only major change is they've got some a little bit more zip in their ball movement, which is, and I still say that's not that dissimilar to what they've been like.
And have you got a nickname for those three boys coming in? Holy Trinity. What do they get around at the club?
Yeah, they get called Xavier, Zach and Connor. That's a new name I've got for them. No, there's been enough. It's quite remarkable, isn't it? Because the three boys have had an impact in our club from the day they walked in. They came into the side together, and funnily enough, they come back into the side together at a moment where we need them to come back into the side. And we certainly think it gives us a boost in our ability, but also in our enthusiasm and our willingness to play the game in an exciting brand, because all three do that pretty well.
In terms of the excitement and what they do bring to the team, can you sort of put into words what you've been missing, with a combination at the very least, sometimes all of them missing for the last 3 months?
Yeah, well, it certainly makes a difference because they all play in slightly different positions and they all add flexibility to other positions. So, both Zach and Connor give us an opportunity through the midfield to grow out and develop our midfield as well, which we set out at the start of the year to have a real key focus on. We haven't really been able to do that with either of those boys, clearly. Xavier's ability to run up and back all day, and we've seen one of the good benefits of Xavier being missing is the emergence of Miles Bergman, I think, as a quality young wingman as well. So we feel like we've grown our club when they're not been there, but we certainly know where we're better with them in our team, and we need to get some games in them because they won't come out and be 100% perfect this week. They'll take time to build into the remainder of this season, I'd imagine.
Given the just on that was just the next bit of the question. When you bring in three blokes like that, some of them who haven't really played AFL footy or a lot of AFL footy for a long time, is there a risk with those boys?
Yeah, I think there's always some risk around, particularly Zach and Xavier. And Zach's played basically 2.5 quarters since round 4, and Xavier has played a couple of games at Sanford level. So yeah, there's no doubt. I said this last week or a couple of weeks ago when we brought Zach back. We know how long it can take the absolute cream of the crop to get going when they've had an extended break. The thing that for us is that the season's getting shorter, and we need to get them in our side and get them playing at AFL level. So the risk that we have to take is one worth it, we think.
Ken, given the small forward stocks are pretty depleted at the moment, is that where Zach and Connor go straight into tomorrow night? Yeah,
well, that's their go-to position more often than not. With, as I said, a change up through on ball, and Xavier will go to the wing, which is where he plays and what we expect. But he's also, we think all three have got ability to play inside in our midfield at some stage. So tomorrow we will use them where we need to use them, and hopefully give us a chance to win the game.
Back on the nickname theme, could you call Zach Lazarus? What's he done? We thought he was out for 4 to 6 weeks. What's changed in that time, Ken?
No, I think it's pretty simple. I mean, with any of those injuries, you get a scan that suggests that that it may be 3 to 4 weeks, and you do always treat what the patient's like. And for us, it's always been, and our doctor and medical team have always said, look, let's get the scan, get some information, but treat the person first. And Zach initially, once he's seen the scan, seen surgeons, and seen the right people, they were optimistic that his medial was nowhere near as bad as we first saw it on the night. So Lazarus, if you want to go with that, you can go with that. I was more Lazarus when he got back from his foot, to be fair. His foot was one that came quicker than I think than his medial ligament did. So yeah, if you like, I'll refer to him as Lazarus from now on.
You spoke about Trav's impact on the club. Do you feel for him? Of course, this game was scheduled to be played in front of family and friends in Adelaide. Do you feel for him not being able to have that opportunity?
Yeah, 100% I do, and and everyone would. I think anyone who's involved at football at this level understands the size of the achievement that Travis is about to achieve, and he would love nothing more to share that with his Port Adelaide family of members and fans, and also with his own family. So there's significant disappointments in not having those people there, but we put our individual disappointments aside and Travis will do that for the need of the competition and the team, and that's what will happen again tomorrow night.
Peter Laddams holds his spot. Is that to go with a 2-ruck combo against Brody Grundy?
Yeah, certainly is to play 2 rucks. Yes, it's and Brody's an outstanding ruckman, so we understand the size of the task that we've got. I think maybe it'll be an opportunity for us to hopefully work hard to try and limit what Brody's able to do.
And you strategically worked over Security by frustrating them through the corridor of Marvel last week. Do you switch it around this week, looking for your own drive in that area?
Oh no, we'd like to play aggressive brand of football always, and we always want to move the ball as best we possibly can. But the conditions that we face on Friday night will be one that obviously with the roof on will be a dry, fast track. So that'll create challenges in defence, but it'll also create opportunities in offence, we hope.
Ken, what have you missed this week with the interruptions and not being able to train and isolations and quarantines? Like, how much of your usual week you left behind? Just one session?
Yeah, not too much. I mean, our recovery session it can be done, remotely anyhow, so it's not such a big deal. But our training session last night was probably a touch later, but because we're playing a night game, that we think that's an opportunity for us. So we see that as a win. And outside of that, we're about to go and do our captain's run, which we'll get done as normal. So we won't have missed too much. There'll be a few flights in between. There'll be a few false starts in between about where we may or may not have been. But the reality is there hasn't been too much to get in the way of our preparation. And as I said, we're right to go.
How far are you preparing for Melbourne now? Like to stay in Melbourne and looking ahead?
We don't. Look, we don't know. We've seen on. I don't even know what day we got it. Tuesday, was it? We've seen it move twice in one day. So let's not try and predict how long or how far ahead we have to go. Well, let's just deal with Friday and go out and play a strong game of football and get a win that we badly need.
Do you have scratch matches that you've been able to? So everyone's talking. Have you been able to organise scratch matches for the reserves or the extra players you've got over there, Ken?
Yeah, we'll work through what we need to do with training and stuff for our top-up players, and we'll give them their best opportunity. The blokes who are not playing tomorrow night, as I said, we don't know how far, we can't forecast far forward at all, so we don't know exactly what's going to happen in all those spaces, but you can be sure of one thing, they'll get the best opportunity to prepare to play football at AFL level, and whatever that takes and needs, we'll be prepared to do it.
Ken, are the days of players having rigid routines gone forever after this year? You just couldn't have it, could you?
No, it might be a good thing. It might be a great thing. But we're talking about a great player in Travis, and Trav's routines and rituals are as good as any and strong as anyone. So, but he's more around what he does in game day and how he gets to the ground. Travis will get to the ground an hour earlier than most players, and but that's not going to affect him tomorrow. But if there's some other things that you do and how you do them, maybe they will. So, being agile and flexible and all those words that I've heard through the last 18 months, it's taken away some of the rigour of routine. We get in trouble sometimes because we don't have great goal kicking routines, and this time we can get away with it because we don't need to have routines that gets in the way of disruption.
And just a quick one on Trav. I read a quote that he might like to be the Tom Brady of the AFL and play post 40. Would you back him in?
No, because I think it'd be the first player ever that's going to have done that. So this game is brutal, but I wouldn't put a full stop on where Travis will finish. That's one thing I won't do. We've seen a lot of remarkable players, and Sean Burgon's a great example, being an ex-Port Adelaide player, still playing football at 38. That Travis Boak's got all the speed, got all the desire, got all the attributes that you need to continue to play for a lot longer yet. So, 300 will be a milestone, but it won't be certainly anywhere near the finishing line.